Hello guys. What the fuck is this like this? All right. The layout. Damn. Okay. I am Justice Mosu and welcome to October Digital First. All right. I know you've been waiting for a while to see us start, and it looks as if we're not starting, but here we are. Whoa. What's October Digital First and what's it going to do for you? Probably you've seen it on all of our status, on WhatsApp, on adverts, on Instagram, Twitter, and the rest of them. But right here, let me tell you one more time. In this program, you learn from professionals how to go about your UX design, conceptualization of UX design, branding, lead generation, and also how to increase your clients or probably how to make more profit from your business. So I'm just Wosu, and I am your host alongside with Viva Victor, who's going to be taking you today. And Viva Victor is here to tell you a whole lot which you have to know in the UI industry. And in the next few minutes, you'll be having Viva Victor here with you. So hold on, just give us 30 seconds.
And good day. I am Viva Victor, a web developer, and I've been doing this for like 6, 7 years now. And I have a couple of applications running online designed by me. So today we'll be looking at a few topics, which number one, we're going to be looking at how to have or create the best layout for your website. And the second one is the psychology of. And the third one is how should you profit your organizations when you have, how should websites profit your organization? So, firstly, having the best layout. I'm reading from my notes. Designing a website layout doesn't have to be difficult though, especially if you know the common mistakes to avoid. So here we'll be talking basically what to know before you start designing a layout. Even if you are not a web designer, probably have someone designing for you or your organization. So now the first things you need to consider is define what you want to do. What do you want to achieve in your website? What do you want your website to be known for? Most people don't actually get this. Most people mix this when it comes to designing because let's assume you have a website and you want to sell products. So you have to first consider how should people come to your website and how they have to see your products and probably click on them to buy and pay for. That is how it is. So what are you designing for? Do you want to create the most of the ad impressions or to provide the best reading experience, or are you selling a product and want visitors to buy from your website? So all these are what you have to consider to actually know what you have to do first before going in. So the second is you have to think simple. Your creation or your website, the what you whatsoever you're working on should be very simple because the lesson here is to make your layout very easy, simple, and intuitive so that the menu should include most common terms. You have seen a website where they have normally we usually have home buttons, have about us, we have we have about us, we have home buttons, we have FAQ, which is frequently asked questions, and we have contact us. So imagine a website that you are on the website and you're actually looking for the about us, but the about us is actually there, but it's not written or tagged about us, probably saying get to know the wonder of our organization. It's going to really confuse the visitor coming to the website. So these common terms that I just mentioned really need to be found in any website you're presenting for your business. Now, the third thing we are looking at is share designs with your client. So if you are a designer, if you're the one designing the website, here actually really needs to come handy. You see some cases, some occasions whereby a client is actually designing for an organization, or a designer is actually designing for a client or an organization. You find out that the problem is he or she is not actually carrying the clients along. You end up designing whatsoever you want to design first before you start showing your clients. It's a very big problem. So you have to really tell your client, this is what we are doing. This is how it's going to look like. This is how it happens. What will happen when this button is clicked and so much and so. So that's how it's supposed to be. Then you start to tackle the layout first, which is the fourth thing I'm talking about. And this tackling the layout first has so many things to play. Now, in this part, there is tendency that you might actually steal ideas from existing apps that are already online. It's not bad if you stumble upon website like Facebook, or apps like Facebook, Instagram, to check how they function, how they operate, their looks, and to copy from them and create whatsoever you want to create. Because whatsoever you're doing, most times there are applications or websites that looks like what you want to offer. So it's not a bad thing. It's ideal if you would definitely want to look at this and know how you have to make your own look special and make it look more, give it this more feel and make people have a better experience when they come to your website. Most times, designers thought jumps into their works before giving consideration into the problem they are trying to solve. Designing is all about solving problems, as we all know, and solving this problem accurately in digital product design, you have to first sketch or draft out a good layout. So you think about the content, the layout, and the functionality. You make sure those thoughts are in line with your client goals and feel free to share them with your client. So here comes the fifth one is sketching. Sketching is actually very vital. You have to sketch out whatsoever you want to do. You have to sketch it out. You have to have a book where you design, you draft, this is what I want to build, and this is how it's going to look like. Because if you do not do so, there is a probability that you will actually make so many mistakes on the way. So it's always good to know where you are going to, and being able to design and draft others. So that solves all the design problem. The framework is the UI that surrounds the content and helps the user perform action and navigate through it. So we have tools. There are so many tools that will help us to sketch, no matter what we want to sketch when it comes to digital product design. So we have Mockflow, we have Balsamic, we have Azure, we have Sketch, we have InVision Studio, we have Craft, we have Proto.io. So all these are sketching tools or platforms that help you design, get a better UI, more like framework for whatsoever you want to build. So grid also helps, adding a grid. So here you add grid, which will help you to structure the layout of different sections. It will guide you through the specific screen sizes requirement and help you to create responsive templates. Responsive templates, which is very vital. Responsive template. These days, you see, websites are once you build it, it runs for all. Unlike those days, you have to build websites for different screens, different tablets. But now, once you just get the website, you use your CSS and other library, probably framework like Bootstrap, and get whatsoever you want to do for other screens. So grid helps you to structure your layout. So you have to add a grid to whatsoever layout you're building, you're working on. Then you choose your typography. So your typography matters. Most websites today actually look so, most of them are so beautiful. Their layout are nice, but their typography is the problem. Sometimes it's hard for you to read. Either it's so light, so faint, or it's the size are not actually bold enough for you to read, or for your visitor to be able to read. So typography, and it's ideal for you to have at most two different typographies on your website, general pages. So we have like two different. So if you are using two, let it be two. Unlike the homepage is having different, the about us is having a different typography, font style, the contact us is different, and so forth and so on. So that's an issue. That's an issue. Now you're selecting your teams, which is the next one we're looking at. So selecting your teams really matters because teams has a very vital role. What makes it beautiful is the team. You get, I know you are common, everybody, and I understand that you understand, or I mean by team, you have team on your phone, have team on so many apps you're using on your phone, you have to change it. So what does the team do? The team helps you to structure the colors, to know the colors you're going to use for this, because developing an app or designing an app for digital products requires you making use of one or two or more colors together. So for you to get colors that actually work out, probably you've already gotten the main color for the brand that you're building for. Then you have to then you have to use tools like Color Hunt or colors.io. These are web platforms you can use to mix colors together to get the perfect color you want for your for your brand or for your software, for your app or whatever you're building online as a digital product. So yeah, tools like Color Hunt and colors.io will help you in the section when choosing the theme color for the project. You can also look at other web apps or websites when designing, like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Vimeo, Quora, Amazon, Jumia, and probably even Tesla official website. Also realize that colors matters. Colors matters. It's what we call psychology of colors, but that's not what we are looking into today. There are some colors you can't say you want to sell product and your website is filled with red. People be like, what are we doing here? Are you sure this is product they are selling in this place or something else? So there is what we call psychology of colors. So you really need to consider this when building or working on your project. So you simplify the layout. Like I've said this before, the simpler the structure of the site, the easier it is to navigate. It's easy to navigate. If I use sites like Jumia as an example, you're coming to Jumia, your website to get a product or probably something. Let's say you want to get a TV, and it's easier. All you have to do is click on the electronics parts, electrical electronics, whatever. It shows other gadgets, and you can pick what you want. So imagine a place that they are not categorized, and you are just confused, and you don't even know how to and where to start from. So all these things are what you need to consider. That's why my first point was you have to define what you are designing for. What are you doing? Once you get this in view, you can carry on with whatsoever you are doing. And if you're considering keeping it simple, still requires that if you are using a CTA, which is call to action, you should know that this is a CTA, a call to action. It shouldn't look exactly like other. It shouldn't look like other buttons that are existing. So if your call to action they're having different colors, you know how to make it to look different. Because when my CTA, when the call to action button is looking like every other button, then how it's going to be very hard for people to understand and know that this is actually a CTA. So it should be uniquely styled for the layout. I've said this before, don't be afraid to borrow. Instead of learning all the nuances of how to design a website layout, take a look at other websites operating in the same space. That's where you can borrow ideas from. It's very, very essential to look at what is already existing and know how to modify this. And you have to pay attention to every component, which is the next point I'm saying here. Pay attention to every component. Every component matters. Address every component as if you are going for a design contest. Yeah. If you pay attention to every component, the whole will be more than the sum of its parts. And I have to admit that this piece of advice is not mine truly, because I heard it somewhere and I'm using it today. So it matters. So if in the website we have different components, we have the nav tag, we have the side bar, we have the buttons, we have the font, we have the where the logo stays, we have so many, the drop down menu and all those things. These are what comes together to make a perfect layout. So these are what for you to have a perfect layout that a client or a visitor comes to your website and is ready to patronize whatsoever you are doing. And that's what matters. So you have to go responsive, like I said before. These days, responsiveness matters in everything when it comes to web. If your website is not responsive, there is a probability of a very huge one that people will leave your site as they are coming in, then leaving, because you need to be responsive. You need to adapt to every screen. The website should adapt to mobile devices, should adapt to tablets, it should adapt well on laptops and TV screens too. So it matters so well. It matters, it really matters so well. So you have to also learn how to use images because images speak more to us than text. Images, remember that saying that a picture speaks 1,000 words? Definitely it is. So you have to know where images should come in place. You have to fix images there. And your images shouldn't be blurred. It should be sharp. And you should really, really use a very quality image, which is going to make your site look better. And for us to also continue this, you have strategically place trust emblems and social proof elements on your website because it matters too. Visitors to your website want to know that your organization can be trusted with their cookie information as well as personal details and credit card information if necessary, for instance. Because it matters. People need to know, okay, yes, this brand is authentic and it has been existing for a long time, and is a brand that we can really want to work with. Because it matters if you don't do so, people may not actually buy into whatsoever you're selling because of credibility in quotes. So think in motion. Motion is essential when designing interactive experiences. No design can be judged on its own or as a static component anymore. So every component is defined by its relationship with the system. You get, and that relationship needs motion to be conveyed properly. So properly, motion can illustrate dynamic effects on content or interactive states within your layouts. For the second purpose, I recommend taking your designs a bit further into prototyping. Prototyping matters. So I don't know if we've heard about prototyping before, but according to Google, prototyping is a draft version of a product that allows you to explore your ideas and show you the intention behind a feature of the overall design concept to users before investing time and money into development. Yeah, there are some projects you want to design and they're asking for prototype. Now, the prototype is not actually the software or the product, but how it will operate, how that's using graphical illustrations, but adding motion to it. So they're watching how it's going to look like exactly after the production. So prototype is the best way to interact. Prototyping is the best way to test interactions and technology. There are lots of prototyping tools that make it easier nowadays, and you don't need to be a coding guru to create effective prototypes. This is yet another way you can get your clients excited and on board with concepts and ideas that would otherwise need a lot of explanation. So we have tools for prototyping. We have uh, Origami Studio. We have Sketch, which I mentioned before, Azure, Webflow, Framework, Atomic. So those are vital points you need to consider when developing the best layouts for your website or your digital product. These are few points you really need to consider because it's essential in the growth of your business or brand. So if all these things are taken into place as a designer, as someone who is looking for a designer to build digital products for him or her or for an organization or brand, you should make sure that this designer has to follow everything I've said or every point I've laid now, because without this, I would guarantee you this 21st century where information is very easy, information is everywhere. All you just need is the data, an internet connection, and your phone, your mobile phone, laptop, and all the way. So if we get this correctly, if you get this correctly, I assure you that your website, your web app, your application, your product will go a very long way. Thereby, people coming over and over and over again to patronize you and work with you. So you have to really consider this as we go. Thank you. Okay.
Hello, guys. Okay, just a few minutes ago, we saw Viva Victor on web design and UI UX design basics and fundamentals, which will help you design wonderful websites. All right, I'm just also, and here is the October Digital Fest, and right now we're on the first break, which Viva Victor is going to come back up again to give you further more on what you have to know about this program or what you have to learn on the web design and development. Okay, someone type here. Wow, getting great value already. Oh, nice. Okay, so look at something, guys. I want you to share the link to your friends and families. I want you to share the link on your WhatsApp. Tell them to come in now that this program is holding live. And this is the first day, and they're going to get a whole lot. And our host is Hurricane This Agency. And with us today is Victor on UI UX design fundamentals. And let's go on a break. We're back soon. Thank you.